Hey, thanks for joining. Today we're talking about navigating your college decision. Hey there, Scott Townsend here from Simplifiu, and today we're talking with Aaron Williams from Education Advisor. Thanks for joining me, Aaron.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we're really the topic today is kind of navigating that college decision. But before we get into that, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and about Education Advisor?
Yeah, so my name is Aaron Williams. I'm the owner of Education Advisor. I'm a software engineer by trade, and it's a software company. And what we do is essentially we help you gauge the return on investment based on what school you're going to, um, and what job you actually want to or field you want to go into once you're out of school. So that's what we do in a nutshell. There's a lot more to it, but yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and we talked first maybe a couple of months ago, and I played around the site, and really, really cool. Kind of gives you all that information that you're really looking for. So, yeah, kudos to you. It's a very very cool tool,
Thank you.
and useful, obviously. So what drove you to create educationadvisor.org?
So a lot of my friends and a lot of people that I know, they went to college, and most of them had no clue how much they would actually be spending on a month-to-month basis for school. They kind of had, they knew they had an idea that they were spending a certain amount, but they didn't really know how it was going to affect their lives once they were out of school. Even applying for a mortgage, stuff like that. It affects a lot, and especially if you go into a field where you know it's going to be more difficult to repay that student loan. Um, it's it's that's kind of in a nutshell what drove me to do it because I'm looking out there and I'm like, there's got to be a tool that just makes it easy and it just shows people that this is what you're going to go to school for, this is how much you're going to pay, and this is what you're projected to make once you're out of school. And there was nothing like it out there. So I said, well, I wonder if the data's out there, and it was, and I was able to get it, and Education Advisor was born.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think there's so many people that kind of have a vision of what they want to do, and then what school they want to go to, and yet there might be this huge mismatch in terms of like what the ROI on that career is, and not needing to really pay for that top-notch school to get that education that you need for for that career.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think it's really powerful. um so why would someone use Education Advisor? How is it really meant to help people? I mean, I think we kind of went into that a little bit already, but
Yeah, really, right now it's just a prep tool. So it's a good talking point. It's good especially for parents. It's free for parents. So you sign up and you can show your kids, start as early as a freshman in high school and say, hey, this is how much it's going to cost. This is what you're projected to make. Does it make sense to go to this school? Is there better schools, better options? So that's how it's meant to help people right now. There's other pieces of the app that are coming out. This is fairly beta, but yeah, right now it's the biggest, most powerful piece of it.
awesome. So, I think I mentioned when we last talked, I'm a parent of a high school senior. I can definitely relate to the stresses of like navigating the FAFSA and, financial aid in general and selecting schools, that sort of thing. What do you find is the biggest stress for parents and students, and really how does your tool help reduce that stress?
there's plenty of stresses. I mean, just navigating FAFSA is a stress in itself. I think all of that's pretty stressful. I think it's the money piece. I mean, is just it's a it's a hard topic, and it's a really stressful topic, especially for parents and kids starting to go into college. That's I think that's the biggest stress that I've seen. Um, yeah.
So with the cost of like 4-year college and university being so high, and kind of that the prospect of large student debt looming, are you seeing more people looking at alternatives like community college as, as an option?
So trade schools are becoming huge. They're
Oh,
becoming much bigger because trade school, it's not a 4-year degree. It's much cheaper, and you can make a really good living. And you can't outsource a plumber, can't outsource an electrician. So yeah, trade schools are becoming huge, and it's something with Education Advisor. Eventually, we want to start pushing that more. Help kids realize trade schools, community college, it's much better return on investment.
yeah. That's great to hear that trade schools, are that there's a trend there, because I think that there's been a huge kind of gap there for a long time. So
There is. I mean, I have a couple friends. One of them's a plumber, and he's saying that there is actually a huge gap right now between like senior level plumbers and apprentices. There's not as many apprentices anymore, and he's saying it's kind of scary if you think about it that there's no one coming in to replace the senior level people right now, and it's a great career. So I
yeah,
think it's something to think about.
yeah, definitely. Now, do you have trade schools incorporated into Education Advisor?
Right now, no. Like I
Yeah,
said, fairly beta. We're looking to
yeah,
kind of get that data from trade schools and actually kind of help them, get in this way. So right now, that's going to be the next one of the next pieces that we're looking to do that. And there's a couple, minor schools that we want to kind of get more data on. Right now, it's very much just universities, colleges. I mean, community colleges, definitely we have all that, but so
yeah.
we're trying to get as much as we can.
Oh, that's great. So, I've utilized the tool, a little bit here or there, but, I think it'd be great for us to kind of show usage of the tool on the fly here with a demo, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do
All
it.
right.
All right. So when you first go to educationadvisor.org, this is something that you'll see. What you want to do is you just click start your journey. We try to make this as easy as possible. So it's very simple. You start with your desired occupation. You can go with the accountants and auditors. If you know what specific industry you want to go into, you can add that there, but that's optional. The next one is your institution. So whatever school you want to go to. Um, and then again, optional, your household income. Then you just pop in your info right here, and then you're on your way.
And that household income would be like, assuming the parent is filling this out, or the student is filling it out, but getting the household income from their parents, basically.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. So when you first log in, my accounts, I've been poking around, so it might be a little uh, data might be interesting here. But when you first log in, let's take a look at this person. Their education is they want to go to the University of Vermont. So as you can see here, it gives you a breakdown of kind of what you're projected to pay based on if you're in state, the amount of income that your family makes, and then aid as well. It also breaks down wage and financial aid information. So this is, what the typical person will make after graduation, X many years, and the financial aid stuff. And then down here is just some more institution information. It gives you some other institutions to consider on the side. These are typically they're mostly proximity based. So that's kind of how that works. And then next you've got your occupation. So this person wants to be an accountant. This shows you, the average salary for an accountant, and the amount of jobs projected over the next 10 years. Let me just make sure I don't have any loans in here. Good. Okay. So what it does is when you first come in, it assumes you're going to school for 4 years. You're just taking out a regular loan. There's nothing special about it. And it tells you how long it's going to take to pay off. And then what's really cool is it tells you your interest rates, how much you're going to be paying per month, and what percentage of your paycheck that's going to be. So in this case, it's pretty decent investment. You'll get a good education and you're not breaking the bank. Where this really becomes powerful is when you start plugging in your loans here. So you can go with all these different loan types that you may take out. And then you add in the loan. this now affects your projections. So it it completely changes everything because it assumes that you're only taking out this loan for all 4 years essentially. Um, and then finally, you can add in scholarships too, and these scholarships will affect your rating as well. So that's it in a nutshell. There's a lot more to play around with, but it gives you an idea, especially if you have, if you have kids, you can kind of have them play around with it too, and you know, you can see what they're projected to make, and it's a pretty cool tool, I should say.
Yeah, definitely. And the percentage of paycheck, that's based on like assuming like a federal subsidized loan, like post graduation, like the payment term starting at that point, right?
Yeah, so hold on, I can actually tell you what it is. It's assuming, yep, a direct subsidized loan with 12-year standard fixed repayment plan. So it assumes that at first. Um, and obviously you can tailor that to whatever you think you're going to be taking out. So
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I love the letter grade rating as well.
I
It gives
was
a good
I was
visual.
very we were very on the fence about that. Some people were like, I hate it, and other people love it. So,
Yeah.
so it ended up going in there, and I think that was the right move. But yeah, it was a funny talking point for a while.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Nice. So what's the best way for people to learn more about Education Advisor or to contact you?
So you can just go to educationadvisor.org. There's a lot of information on that website. And if they want to contact me directly, there is a contact form on the website that goes directly to me. But you can also just email me, aaron.williams@educationadvisor.org. So if you have any questions or if you need any direction, I'm more than happy to help however I can.
Awesome. Yeah. Again, I played around with the tool. I think it's great. I definitely wish you success with this. I think it's very powerful and can help a lot of people. And, timing wise, this, springtime of 2023 when people are, getting, hearing back from colleges and it's that kind
Yep.
of decision time. So I think the timing of this, helping people out is great as well. So.
Awesome. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Yeah. So thanks again for joining me. And yeah, we'll talk again soon.
Awesome. Thank you.